Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, it's Upmax again, and tonight I want to talk to you about why my base is such a mess, as some of you keep mentioning actually sometimes, and also why I do not max out my building technologies here in the AI command center, which you may have also been wondering about why the hell I don't do that. So the actual reasons why are actually twofold. Further upgrading is that basically when you get these quests to do, for instance, build 12 barracks or build 16 air bases and so on, it's actually simpler, especially if your base is a lot like mostly full. If you have like all the tanks, if I switch to my other account, that I have just a few spaces to do this, and I am actually going to do that. Okay, I'm actually going to show you why. So basically it makes doing these quests so much simpler. So here you can see I have a quest to make 16 barracks, but my barracks here are level 79. And if they were level 80, it would be even worse. So basically if I want to, use the last few spaces that I have, then I make them, then I, merge them, but then I have to delete all of them to make space for the new ones that I want to build. So, like I have to actually always go and clip them one by one, even if they were right next to each other, which is actually another thing that I'm going to show you why I'm not really doing that. And I'm going to show that in a moment. But basically you can see that it takes forever. When I have the low level buildings, I can just merge all of them. Basically I can merge 16 of them into one and then delete that one. And it saves a lot of time when doing this. That's one thing. And the other is, okay, I'm going to show you now. Okay, maybe they have actually improved it, but I think that they haven't. You can actually see it here. So the reason why my base is such a mess is that whenever you leave a space, which is exactly, 4 spaces, exactly enough for the building, it's going to fit perfectly, obviously. While here, as you saw, there was 4 by 2 space, so that could have actually been 2 barracks, but the automatic AI, when I was placing it, put it in the middle. So basically it's taking space of 2 buildings, and this keeps happening all the time. So this is actually the reason why you will actually see my base being a bit of a mess. This is actually the one which is more in order for various reasons, but the other one is on my main is actually more of a mess. And one of the reasons is this, that it actually helps fill the spaces properly, because otherwise I could have like, let's say, I could have like, let's say 60 spaces, but instead of being able to put 12 or whatever, or 15 actually into 60 spaces, 15 airplanes, I could maybe only put 10 airplanes because they would automatically place wrong. So that's one reason. And the other is, if you look at it, whenever you exit the base, you enter the base, I like to have all of the important buildings on this first screen. So here you can see that I have at least the repair factory on this account. The rest are down here, as you can see. They are, on the second island, so they are not taking up the space. So I can actually have more units on the main island. But the flip side is that I keep forgetting to use to do materials, for example. Right, that's one thing. And in general, it's just so inconvenient whenever I want to switch components, because it's an old server. It means it's in the tech center. So I have to go here and I have to find the thing that I'm looking for and so on. Now if I relog back, and when I do that, you're going to see that once I log in, I basically have all the important buildings on the first screen. I've got my repair factory, I've got my dimensional mine, which was, it's not as important anymore now that I'm not leveling anymore. But still, if I want to do it, it's good to have it on the first screen. Same as my arsenal for switching components, same as my financial center, same as my radar, even though the radar is actually not needed at all, right? I can just do this, but yeah, maybe I should just move the radar actually. I think I'm gonna do it right now, unless it's possible it actually doesn't let you. It doesn't let you move some buildings, so I'm not sure if that's not the case with the radar. I can try. But no, I can move my radar, so I just move my radar away. And you can see that I have some of these other things here, basically the ones that you almost never use. The ones that you almost never use, because for instance, expedition base, you access it by this menu instead. This thing you use once, once a month maybe. And this I don't use anymore now that I'm level 80, except for picking the Valhallas, which I haven't done so yet, so yeah, anyway. So yeah, that is the reasons why my base is such a mess, why you always see the buildings being in random like places like this. That's why I have these 2 by 2 spaces. You can see sometimes that they get, of course they get destroyed a bit. For instance, if I get burned and then I merge my units, they leave random places open, right? But in general, I always try, if possible. I even, we can see it like here, for instance, I will try to do it on purpose so that they are placed in such ways that there is 2x2 spaces open, because that way the game can always fit the building in there automatically, and yeah, it doesn't make an issue basically, and yeah, it removes that issue of the game not being able to stack them properly. So yeah, that was the one thing, as I said, making these things so much quicker. You can see I had the 12 barracks quest here, and yesterday I had the airbase quest. I didn't delete them afterwards, but you can see just how like this. I just see, and now I have one level 80 building that I can demolish and build another round if I need to. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and yeah, it just saves such a ton of time. Of course, it's a bit annoying if you if you have to rebuild your base or something, if you want to add more of these buildings to actually retrain like hundreds of units after donation in Etherland, for example, then it's a bit annoying, maybe a bit more than a bit, but most of the time when you're just doing your things, it's actually sort of an advantage. And actually, the other reason that I didn't mention for having the things here is obviously not just that it's better for this, for accessing them every time. It's also that I'm used to it, okay? So that's the place. This is like the place where you start the game in, right? And I'm used to having them there. So I was always looking for them there, and yeah. Anyway, this is it for the 2 questions. Why the hell do I not level up my building tech? And why my base is such a mess. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, have a wonderful day.